You can tell a lot about someone by looking at their bookshelf. So it seems fitting to start my channel with a series where I recover books that are important to me, as a way to introduce myself. I'm Phil, I'm 28 and I'm disabled. Before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge a flaw in my work that some of you have likely already noticed. I wasn't aware of it while I was making this, but it was right there from the start. A large part of learning to live with my disability was learning to overlook and accept my deficiencies to the point where I often forget they are even present. I hope that watching this video helps you experience something similar in a small way, as you learn to see through this flaw and focus on the beauty in what I'm creating. Let me know in the comments if you spotted it. If not, I'll tell you what it is towards the end of the video. At 19, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It started when the left side of my body went numb. First my fingertips, then slowly spreading down to my toes over a few weeks. For the first couple of years, I was experiencing a relapse roughly every 3 months. Each one leaving new nerve damage, new symptoms, and new challenges that I had to adapt to. I've been bedbound, unable to walk and bathe myself. I've lost the use of all limbs, sometimes all at once, sometimes in unpredictable combinations. I've even been completely blind. These symptoms still come and go, but eventually each relapse settles into a new normal, and you just learn how to live in your new body. After a couple of years, medication brought my MS under control, and finally I felt a sense of stability. But something still wasn't right. When you first become disabled, you often hear the phrase, "Don't let your disability define you." I clung to that mantra, and to an identity that started to feel more and more alien to me. That all changed when I discovered the disability community on Twitter. It was overwhelming and empowering to find people whose stories echoed mine. People who showed me it was okay not to hide my challenges or my mobility aids. People who taught me how to set boundaries with my friends and family when I needed to. I started to feel joy and contentment again as I began to accept that I'm allowed to change, that I should change. Flexibility is strength. That's something you learn in every craft, from engineering through to bookbinding. If you can't bend, then you break. When an unexpected load is applied, rigid structures crack, flexible ones adapt. That's where I found myself, cracking under the strain of trying to hold on to an identity that no longer fit. Accepting that I needed to change, and allowing myself to do so, was the turning point. Alice Wong's Disability Visibility captures the sheer diversity of the disability community, the one that helped me rediscover myself. Alice was one of the first disabled activists I followed on Twitter. That platform is where I first started finding voices like mine. I'm so thankful this book exists as a written record of that culture and of the voices that have shaped it. And I'm especially thankful it exists in spite of the platform's current owner, who seems vindictively focused on dismantling any community that doesn't conform to his worldview. Disabled people will of course adapt to this new social media landscape, but it's frustrating to lose the progress and resources we've built there, especially as some of the people who contributed are no longer with us. I'm grateful to Alice for assembling these stories into a physical book. It will act as a time capsule that will survive hostile takeovers of online platforms and political crackdowns, and I hope that the new hardcover I'm transplanting this text block into will help keep it protected for decades to come. For this project, I'm roughly following Das Bookbinding's method for converting a paperback to a hardcover book. I've cut down the original cover card into tabs that then sit within some split boards. I then cover the spine and corners with book cloth and use a cotton paper that's been printed, foiled, and then coated with an acrylic clear coat. I love the cover design created by Madeline Partner for this book. The typeface is bold and modern, but also hyper-legible to make it more accessible for people with visual impairment. The varied and overlapping triangles seem to echo the diversity of the community. I wanted to keep these elements as a nod to Madeline's work, but also put my own twist on it. I created a repeating pattern of icons for different types of disability and used the colour scheme from the Disability Pride flag to further ground this design in disability culture. Then I translated the title layout and the triangular design elements as best I could to work with the heat-reactive foil I opted to use on this project. There are many themes in this book that I could easily weave into this narrative. Alice herself talks about identity and growth in her introduction. Kia Brown's essay focuses on joy and intersectionality. Harriet McBride Johnson identifies the importance of community and solidarity. And Alice Shepherd powerfully discusses the revolution of rejecting shame. I thought long and hard about how to integrate quotes from all of these people and more, but I want you to read their words for yourself. I'm here to contribute my own perspective in the same way that they contributed theirs. This book is required reading for anyone living or working with disability in their world. That's why it's taking pride of place as the first book I put on my bookshelf. There are actually a few flaws in my work. The misaligned text on the front cover caused by me including the turn-ins when finding the center of the page. The end papers with the incorrect grain direction because I cut the marbled paper just a little too short to use the long grain. But the most obvious, and the one that I alluded to at the start, was the hair that somehow found its way onto the sensor of my camera and went unnoticed until I started editing this video. One of the biggest accommodations that made all the difference when accepting my disability was letting go and even learning to appreciate my flaws. My past self would have scrapped this project and not released it, but today I know that most people won't even notice, and even if they do, this video and my work still have value. This is the first book in this series, but it won't be the last. You'll be able to recognize this series and others with little icons that I'll place in the thumbnails. I aim to tell a little bit of my own story through the books I place on this shelf. Some helped me feel seen. Some taught me skills. Some helped me understand myself or others. And some just kept me company when everything felt dark. I hope through these videos I can share that comfort back with others, maybe even you. Thank you to Alice for creating this book, and to you for watching. See you next time.